What if the most terrifying thing that ever happened to you was something you just couldn't explain?
Something that made you question everything.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what if those stories you scroll past late at night, the really creepy ones, what if they weren't just stories?
The rabbit hole of unsettling online accounts.
Welcome to the deep dive.
Oh.
We're wading into those corners of the internet today, looking at first-hand accounts that really blur that line between, normal life and total nightmare fuel.
And we're pulling these from Reddit.
Really?
Which is interesting because it's supposed to be, first-hand experiences. Raw, unfiltered.
Real people, real stories, potentially real nightmares. That's the idea.
These aren't like polished horror movie scripts. They're messy, vulnerable sometimes. People just sharing these moments where the ordinary totally went off the rails.
Makes you wonder, doesn't it, how close some of this stuff might actually be.
Absolutely.
So we picked out a bunch of these. Short, sharp dives into the uncanny. Little moments where everything familiar just twists into something wrong.
Leaving you with that feeling,
Hey.
that unease.
Exactly. Ready to see what happens when the everyday gets deeply strange.
Let's do it. What strikes me is just the immediacy of the fear in these. You can feel people trying to make sense of something impossible.
Okay, first one. The babysitter who wasn't alone. Picture this. Teenage babysitter, Sarah. New house, kind of quiet, kids are finally asleep.
Right, that point where the house gets too quiet.
Yeah, that kind of watchful silence. She's trying to chill, maybe scrolling on her phone. And the baby monitor starts crackling. Now, the kids are both asleep in the same room.
So nothing should be making noise on the monitor. Little anomaly.
Right, the first little wrong thing. And it gets weirder. The crackling turns into this faint humming sound.
Humming, like mechanical or...
Hard to say, maybe. But then whispering? Faint, but definitely words.
Okay, no, whispering is where I draw the line.
And it seems like it's coming from the parents' bedroom, which should be empty.
Oh, goosebumps.
Yeah.
So what does she do? Investigate.
Curiosity, maybe? Or feeling responsible. She creeps upstairs, heart pounding, probably. Opens the master bedroom door. Nothing. Empty room. Silent. Relief, right? False alarm.
That moment of, okay, maybe I imagined it.
Exactly. But as she turns to leave, she flips the light off, and in that instant of darkness, she sees it in the mirror.
Sees what?
A shape. Not her reflection, something else. Moving, shifting in the dark.
Undefined shape. Even worse than not knowing.
You bet. That's her cue to get the heck out of there. Bolts. Calls the police, trying to explain.
I can only imagine that call. There was a shape.
Right. But here's the kicker. The police check the house and they find footprints.
Footprints.
Leading up to the attic.
Oh, wow. So not paranormal.
Yeah.
It's terrifyingly real.
Someone had been living there secretly, maybe for weeks, sharing the house.
That's a whole different level of horror. Living in the walls. Makes you think about every creak in your own house.
Totally chilling. Okay, next one. This is from a user, Dead-Eye Dreamer. A childhood memory.
Those can be the most vivid, can't they? The unsettling ones.
Imagine being 9 and seeing a figure standing at the edge of the woods outside your window every single night.
Every night. That's persistent.
Yeah, just standing there, silent. Couldn't make out a face, just the silhouette, wide brim hat.
And the parents.
Thought it was imagination, Kid stuff, bogeyman.
Right. Dismiss it.
Until
one night, the figure does something, comes closer, presses its hand against the window pane.
Okay.
And leaves behind a bloody palm print.
Whoa. Okay, yeah. Imaginary friends don't usually bleed, right?
Exactly. That changes things. Suddenly it's not just a scary shadow.
Concrete evidence, physical. That's terrifying.
So police get called, investigate the print, check the woods. The next night, the figure's gone.
Relief. Maybe.
You'd think. But then, Dead-Eye Dreamer wakes up, finds something on his pillow.
What?
A Polaroid picture of him sleeping.
Oh, no, that's a violation. They were in the room.
How did they get in? Why leave a photo? It just, so many creepy questions. That takes it from scary observer to active, intimate threat. Horrifying.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Something maybe more relatable. Coming home late, tired, dark outside.
Yeah, autopilot mode.
Yeah.
Not always paying full attention.
This user, Skeleton Dancer 89, is house sitting for their aunt. Familiar place, should be fine.
Famous last words in these stories, right?
Pretty much. Gets home late, unlocks the door, steps inside, drops their bag, and hears footsteps upstairs.
Okay, immediate panic. Aunt lives alone, right?
Should be an empty house, your blood just runs cold.
Absolutely. Adrenaline spikes? What's going on?
They grab their phone, try to call the aunt, heart hammering, trying to figure it out. Did she come back early? Is someone visiting?
Makes sense. Rational explanations first.
And the aunt asks this simple question. Honey, are you at the blue house or the yellow one?
Uh-oh.
Turns out, in the dark, on autopilot. They walked into the wrong house. Neighbor's place. Simple mistake.
Okay, embarrassing, but could be worse.
You'd think. Relief washes over them for like half a second. As they realize the mistake and start backing out, they hear someone coming down the stairs.
Oh, okay. Not empty then. New problem. Immediate problem.
And just as they're scrambling out the door, a man's voice yells, "Who the hell are you?"
Yikes. Close call.
They slam the door, run to the actual aunt's house. Later, they tell the police what happened, still shaken.
And the police check the house. The wrong one.
Yeah, and their report. The house had been vacant for years.
What, vacant? But the footsteps. The voice.
Exactly. Who yelled? Were the footsteps real? Or just fear? It messes with you.
That ambiguity is almost worse. Was it a ghost? A squatter? Or just nerves? Wow.
Right. Okay, next one. The man who saved me. Different vibe. College student, jogging late at night. Feels like she's being followed.
That primal fear. A lone, dark street. Vulnerability.
Totally. She can hear footsteps behind her, getting closer. Panic setting in. Then, suddenly, out of nowhere, a guy appears.
Help her. Or another threat.
Steps out of a dark alley. Tall, calm, wearing a military-style jacket. He just looks at her and says, "Go. Run. I'll handle it."
Whoa. Okay. So, protect her.
She doesn't wait to find out. She runs. Calls the police when she's safe. She's okay, unharmed, but terrified.
Makes sense. But what about the guy? The follower?
That's where it gets weird. The police investigate. They find zero trace of the guy in the jacket.
Zero trace. Like, no witnesses, no footprints.
Nothing. No security cameras caught him. He just vanished, like he was never there.
So, guardian angel. Figment of her imagination, fueled by fear.
Who knows? It's completely unexplained. But then, the final twist.
There's more.
2 weeks later, she finds the same military jacket, neatly folded, on her front porch.
Okay, chills. Actual chills. How is that possible?
Right, a physical object from someone who seemingly didn't exist, it just leaves you hanging. What was he?
That's deeply unsettling. A reminder of something impossible. Wow. Okay, next. The forgotten roommate from user Crimson Moth. Ever live with someone you barely saw? Like a ghost roommate. Oh yeah, the ones who just exist in their room. Creates a weird vibe sometimes.
Exactly. This user had a roommate like that. 2-bedroom apartment. Roommate was super quiet, always behind their closed door, barely ever spoke.
Okay. Awkward, but maybe harmless.
Until the silence becomes total. Days go by. No sound, no sign of life from the roommate's room at all.
After how long?
3 full days of just nothing. Eerie quiet. User gets worried, calls the landlord. Maybe something happened.
Yeah, at that point you'd worry. Welfare check time.
Landlord comes, unlocks the roommate's door. The room is completely empty, stripped bare. No furniture, no clothes, nothing. Like nothing. As if no one ever lived there.
Whoa, just moved out without a word. Or something else.
That's weird enough, but the landlord's reaction, he looks confused. Says, "There's only ever been one name on the lease. Yours. You're the only tenant."
Wait, what? He's saying there was no roommate. Ever.
That's what he insists. So, who was this person the user was living with? Hearing, seeing, was it all in their head?
That messes with your reality.
Yeah.
Shared delusion? Ghost? What was going on?
Makes you question your own perception, doesn't it? Okay, classic horror setup next. Moving into an old farmhouse. The voices in the walls.
Oh yeah. Old houses definitely have character. And sometimes more.
This user, Midnight Glass, starts hearing things almost immediately. First night, whispering, faint.
Uh-oh. Starting small.
Second night, scratching noises from inside the walls.
Okay, ramping up. Whispers and scratching. Not mice, presumably.
Third night, laughter. Actual laughter. And not, like, happy laughter.
Disembodied, creepy laughter. Yeah, that's nightmare fuel.
Totally freaked out, understandably. Decides to get proof. Sets up their phone to record overnight.
Smart. Try to capture it. Document it.
Listens back the next morning and hears it clear as day, a voice saying, "She can't hear us? Not yet."
Oh my God. Not yet. That implies intent, awareness. That's terrifying.
Right. And get this. They played the recording for a friend. Halfway through, the friend apparently threw up and refused to ever go back to that house.
Vomited. Just from hearing it. What could possibly be on that recording?
We don't know, but that reaction, it makes it feel so much more real, more disturbing. Whatever that sound was, it hit on a primal level.
Makes you desperately curious and also terrified to ever hear it.
Wow. Okay, prepare yourself. This next one, The Stalker in the Vents. This is deeply upsetting.
The title alone is bad enough. Vents. Ugh.
22-year-old woman in Boston starts noticing weird things in her apartment, her safe space, right?
Yeah, the one place you should feel secure. What kind of things?
Finding air vents unscrewed, belongings moved slightly, food missing from the fridge. Small things, but adding up.
Okay, that's unsettling. Easy to second guess yourself, but
Yeah.
yeah,
She tells her landlord. His response, probably rats. Brushes it off.
of course, the classic dismissal. Infuriating.
So she takes matters into her own hands, thinks it's something way worse than rats, sets up a hidden camera.
Good for her. Gotta get answers. Though I'm dreading what she finds.
You should be. The footage. It's pure nightmare fuel. At 3:12 a.m., the camera catches a man crawling out of her air vent.
No. Oh my God. No.
He watches her sleep, eats her food, apparently even watched her shower, then crawls back into the vent system around 4 a.m.
That is horrifying. Living in the walls, observing. I have no words. That's unimaginable violation.
It's beyond terrifying. Forget movie monsters. This is real. And the worst part,
It gets worse.
they never caught him. He just vanished.
Again.
Back into the vents, presumably. She still sleeps with the lights on, completely traumatized.
How could you ever feel safe again? Anywhere. That's psychological torment. Unbelievable.
Chilling isn't even the word. Okay, let's go out on the road. The voice on the radio. Late night trucker pulling over to rest.
Lonely job. Isolated stretches of highway. Can feel eerie out there.
He flicks on his CB radio, hoping for some chatter maybe. Just gets static. Then, clear through the static, a whisper.
A whisper saying what?
Don't get out. Just that. Clear as a bell.
Whoa. Okay, that's specific and creepy. What does he do?
Freezes, looks around, sees nothing, just dark highway. Then, headlights in the mirror. Car pulls up next to his rig.
Oh, okay. Maybe the whisper was a warning.
Seems like it. A man gets out of the car, holding a baseball bat.
Yep. Definitely a warning. Hostile intent confirmed.
But then it gets weird again. The guy with the bat circles the truck, looks it over, then just gets back in his car and drives off.
Huh. Why? What changed his mind? That's bizarre.
No idea. Just leaves. The trucker's probably confused, relieved, terrified all at once.
I would be.
The next morning, he hears on the news, a body was found, not far from where he parked. Cause of death? Blunt force trauma, consistent with the baseball bat.
Oh, wow. So the whisper. It likely saved his life?
Yeah.
But who sent it? How? Another trucker, maybe? Or something else entirely? That's a heavy mystery. Life or death, stakes.
Seriously. Okay, we're nearing the end. Getting into territory where reality itself seems thin. The door that shouldn't be there.
Intriguing title. Like a literal door appearing.
Exactly. User moves into a new apartment, knows the layout, blank wall in the living room. Then one day, there's a door there.
It appears. In a blank wall. That's impossible.
They swear it wasn't there before. A solid, real door, locked tight.
Okay, mind officially bending. What next?
They start hearing knocking from behind the impossible door. Faint at first, then louder.
Knocking from nothing. That's deeply creepy.
One night, they wake up. The door isn't locked anymore. It's slightly open.
Oh, don't open it.
They hesitate, then push it open and see themselves. A doppelganger standing there, smiling.
Oh, God. The uncanny valley just exploded. What does it do?
It whispers, "There, you finally let me out."
Nope. Close the door. Burn the apartment. What happens?
The next morning, the door is gone. Wall is blank again, like it never happened.
This is always a but.
But the user wakes up with a strange scar on their shoulder. No idea how they got it.
A physical mark
Yeah.
from an impossible encounter. What was that? What did they let out? Oof.
It's like a reality glitch, leaving a physical trace. Terrifying. Okay, second to last. Primal fear time, kids. The girl under the bed.
Oh, man. These always hit hard. That protective instinct kicks in.
6-year-old girl, tucked into bed. An hour later, she whispers to her mom, sounding scared, "Mommy, there's a girl under my bed."
Classic childhood fear. Monster under the bed. Parents reassure.
Yes, check under the bed, nothing there. Just a bad dream, sweetie. But the next night, same thing. She insists. More certain this time.
Okay, persistent fear. Maybe something more.
Third night, parents put a baby monitor in the room to see or hear what's actually going on. Try to ease her mind.
Logical step. Let's get some data.
3 a.m., the monitor clicks on. Little girl sits bolt upright in bed and says, clear as anything into the monitor, "You're not as nice as the real mommy."
Oh, that is ice cold. Talking to the parents.
Yeah.
Or to the thing under the bed. About the mom.
Who knows, but the implication. Horrifying. They packed up and moved out the very next day.
I don't blame them. Get out.
You'd think that's the end. New house.
Yeah.
But the little girl keeps drawing pictures of her night friend.
Oh, no.
The friend is always smiling.
Yeah.
And always drawn under beds.
It followed them. Or it's attached to her. That's just a lingering dread.
Wow.
Sometimes you can't run away. Okay, final story. Maybe the most unsettling because it's unresolved. User last long and never.
The username itself is ominous. Set the tone.
Yeah. They made one post, just one, said they were being followed, heard footsteps whenever they used their phone, didn't know who to trust.
Okay, high paranoia levels or genuine fear.
The post ended. If I disappear, they got me. Don't believe the next post from this account.
Whoa, that's a chilling sign-off, like a final message.
And then 3 hours later, another post from the same account.
What did it say? The follow-up they warned about.
Simply, false alarm. All good now. I was just paranoid.
Oh, okay. Relief or exactly what they warned against.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because people noted the writing style, the grammar, the whole tone, completely different from the first post, night and day. So, likely not the same person writing it. Validating the original fear.
Seems that way. And the really chilling part, last login ever, was never heard from again. Account went totally silent.
Just gone. After that contradictory post.
Vanished. No more posts, no activity, but the account is still there. Online. Like a digital ghost with that warning hanging in the air.
That's profoundly disturbing. The silence speaks volumes. What actually happened, we'll never know.
Yeah, 10 stories shared online, glimpses into something unsettling.
It's fascinating, isn't it, how these narratives, true or not, tap into such deep anxieties. Safety, the unknown, things hiding just out of sight.
Our vulnerability, even in our own homes, online.
Yeah, are they just campfire stories for the digital age? Scary fun.
Are they glimpses of something else? Something inexplicable, maybe dangerous, just brushing against our reality? That line feels really thin sometimes.
It does, and ultimately you decide what to believe, but they definitely make you think.
They remind you that the world, seen and unseen, might hold things we just don't understand. Maybe we should trust those instincts sometimes, you know, that weird feeling.
Definitely.
So the next time you hear that weird creak, or catch a shadow move, or just get that prickle on your neck for no reason.
Remember these stories.
Yeah, because maybe, just maybe, something is looking back.